guys, I'm Laura Vitale, and on this episode of Laura in the Kitchen, I want to share with you my recipe for the creamiest polenta ever. Now this is a recipe I've been making for years, and I want to slap myself for not sharing this recipe with you any sooner because it is really simple, but it's just the way I make it and I love it. So the ingredients you'll need is some chicken stock, or for me it's just water and some chicken base. You'll need half and half, whole milk, and some usually you can find polenta, or sometimes it's just called, cornmeal, yellow cornmeal. It's really the same exact thing. Now do not confuse this with quick cooking polenta, because that's going to cook very differently than this. But this is just regular cornmeal. It's the same thing. So I got a big pot here, and in here I'm going to add in my water. Just turn this on. I'm going to turn this nice and high so it comes to a boil. My half and half, my whole milk, and to that I'm gonna add in some of my chicken base. A couple teaspoons, because I had a couple cups of water, and it's 1 teaspoon of base for every cup. So now I'm just gonna let that go, come up to a boil, and when it's there, I'll show you what to do next. My mixture is come up to a boil, and now I'm just gonna whisk in my cornmeal. I'm gonna whisk, 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 whisk. You don't want to get any lumps. You want to stick to everything, to anything I should say. And now what you're gonna do is I'm gonna just whisk this. I'm actually just gonna switch to, I'll keep whisking for about 5 minutes until it thickens, and I'll show you what it looks like after the 5 minutes. After a few minutes, it thickens up well. Turn it down to low. Partially cover it, leave it just a little bit out, and let this cook for about 35 to 40 minutes, giving it a stir every 10 minutes or so. And when it's done, I will show you the last final ingredients before it's ready to be eaten. Oh, that looks perfect. Now that's been cooking for about 20 minutes, and I let it go for the first 30 just because my cornmeal is a bit more fine and I don't need it to go that far. So now I'm just going to season it with some salt and pepper, and you really need to keep an eye on this, because if you feel like it's getting too thick too soon, just add a bit more stock. And now to the salt and pepper, to that we need to add some butter. And now what I did, I just cut it into little pieces, and I'm just going to stir this in until it's melted. I'm actually just going to leave it like that for just a minute, because I'm going to grate in some good Parmigiano, a good cup or so. Go ahead and be generous. You should be. And just keep stirring this all in until it's nice and melted. Now, as this cools, this will set and harden. So you can, if you want to, you can just put this in a baking dish, set it in the fridge, and I'll have a nice polenta cake that you can fry, you can broil, you can bake them, you can do whatever. For now, I'm just gonna eat this as is, and then I'm going to rewarm it up later and put in a little bit more stock and get it nice and creamy to serve with some short ribs. But this right here is my childhood. One too many times I requested just straight up creamy polenta for dinner. It really is. Like, there are certain things that just kind of, if you close your eyes and snap your fingers, you feel like you're just easily transported to another time. This is one of those things. It's simplicity all the way, but it's something that it's a recipe you need in your repertoire. You need to keep it in your recipe box, because a nice polenta recipe, I'm telling you, can be worth so much more than you can think of. My father would love this right now. Head on over to laurainthekitchen.com to get this recipe. Hope you've enjoyed spending time with me, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.